Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Sports Talk Network. And this isn't Talking Package with Steve, nor is it a ramble. It's just more of a general, kind of out of nowhere, basically out of nowhere video decided to do here and just, like an RKO out of nowhere video. But the first thing I did want to bring up, as everybody knows of today's date, September 11th, 19 years ago, I myself joined the U.S. Army in 2006. I was in 8th grade in 2001, but in 2006, partly because of the events of 9/11 and other reasons as well. But bringing that up because of today's date and specifically happened on that day. So, me being in the military, being because of that, remembering all those lives that were lost on that day. And I know the police being in the news recently in a bad way in regards to Black Lives Matter movement. But on that day, them doing their job to the fullest, firefighters, all first responders there in New York City. And so I do say that my hand, and prayers to, of course, all that were affected from that, because whether it's 19 years later or how many years later, it doesn't really matter. The pain is always there. You lost a loved one, and that never goes away. Is when you try to move on. So my heart is always with them every single day, let alone on this date. I just wanted to start off, I guess, in a sense, talking about that, since that is today's date on 9/11. So I wanted to see if any of you guys, any of my guests here, wish to speak on that in any way, in regards to 19-year anniversary of 9/11. And first,
I was 4 years old when it happened. So, yeah, I don't know much about that, being a 4-year-old during that
time. Crack them history books. No, what about suicide awareness as well? We can't forget that.
Yeah, that's also one.
And the Real Deal's big on that as well. So like suicide, like prevention, and then like cancer are like my two big things that like I like to get down with. Obviously the blue hair, y'all already know that follow the Real Deal. But nah, we want to definitely give a shout out to that. We can't forget about that, how important that is as well.
Yeah, and even in regards to suicide prevention, I mean, I myself, not saying I was ever close to the point of it, but one point in my life I was to close up high amount of depression, and in essence having be close to suicidal thoughts. So that in its own way, to me, and of course with cancer, my great grandmother, and grandmother both had breast cancer and were survivors. So I always am part of local Susan G. Komen runs and walks every summer.
Nice.
Here locally. Of course, this year it was canceled due to COVID, but usually I'm out there doing the run or walk or whatever. But either way, like I said, I just wanted to start off with that. In regards to wrestling and the big wrestling news out there, the biggest one, and some that have kind of gotten mixed, missed signals, things crossed, false reports, I don't know. But it's in regards to Vince McMahon and his edict to WWE superstars not being able to go, or superstars not being able to go on Twitch or using WWE Nightclubs. At first, people thought that Vince was saying that he owned their real names and calling them out on that. Then we have former presidential candidate Yang going after Vince in general business practices. I have a feeling that he just meant WWE likeness not being used on Twitch and other social media services, and that hurting the company, than caring about their real names, because I would assume in WWE's eyes any foreign marketing press for them is good to them. So just want to get your guys' thought on that big news from the last week in regards to superstars, in regards to what was reported.
You're talking about how they cannot basically use YouTube or Twitch
third-party acts, third-party services.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they're going to take away up, up, down, down. You know, that's probably one of the popular things to watch on their YouTube channel. If
No,
I'm
they own
correct.
that. No, they own that. That'd be like through WWE. So like that's pretty much I think what they're trying to do is get rid of the third party services as far as like if you're using the WWE name or the gimmick that they gave you, anything with their likeliness to it, then they want you to like halt and cancel all that. Use your real name, and then they want to make the money because apparently from what I've read that there's an article out, they're saying that they're trying to take it to the next level of like what we haven't witnessed or seen yet. So in order to do that, this is one of the enactments that they're doing. So this is just part of it, and we're not going to know what they're capable of until they're done with it. So it's going to be pretty interesting as far as like the business movement that they're doing to progress forward. So once again, WWE throwing a curveball at you.
Yeah, it just at first it just seemed fishy. Like, why would they do that? You know, and Stephanie McMahon was in an interview talked highly of superstars doing that and getting their own brand out there in a sense
Right.
and give more money in that regard. But
Big ass iPhone.
Yeah, so in one way it seemed contradictory, but I just thought so it was interesting and weird if that was the case. Like, why were they doing that? You're trying to just.
The indie wrestlers didn't do that because they had their hobbies.
Well, that's gonna affect a lot of them too. Think about the financial gains that they were getting through all that, and now they gotta like cease it and halt. And then it goes back to like if anybody caught like AEW recently, Rusev joined All Elite, and then he even plugged his Twitch channel in his promo on his comeback, like his debut. I mean, he was like, "Follow me." I was like, "Damn!" Like Rusev just came in here and just stole the show and plugged the Twitch and took a shot at WWE at the same time. That's All Elite.
Yeah, and well, in regards to all elite wrestling, I mean, I know they're diehard fans in regards to saying that they won the war because WWE is moving NXT to Tuesdays for a little bit. At least from what I've seen from some fan pages on Facebook and otherwise.
Well, that's in the toss. Like it ain't in stone yet. They're like
Right.
wants to do it, but doesn't want to do it because if he does do it, then it looks like he's submitting to AEW, which is like him on a fence right now. That was the last thing I read about it. So he was in the air on it. But yeah, ratings, AEW's been kicking NXT's ass. So I mean,
well, now they are a separate brand now on different days. It might be changing, probably. Who knows?
it's in the air. Like I said, with all the changes that they're doing as far as like what they plan on doing and what they tell us are two different things. So only time's going to tell. But so far, it's been very, very controversial, to say the least, starting out with third-party services.
I heard some of the people who are on pro wrestling tees that all their stores being closed off.
Yeah, I believe it. Is they want all that financial gain for themselves. Like think about it, they're losing out merchandise money, they're losing out on like video game money, whatever they can put your name on and slap it on a lunchbox, whatever the end. They want that money.
Yeah, and I guess I get to a point. It's just like you said, you just have to wait and see. Maybe they have a grand idea in regards to their, I wouldn't say rebranding, but just updated or whatever they're planning to do in regards to having things.
They're redesigning.
All I feel like this is basically to take away their First Amendment. That's what I think.
Well, first of all, they really just want to take your dollar bill. They don't care whose ass is in that seat as long as you pay for it. So, they're going to be looking at it in the masses of like the abundance of numbers, what they're drawing in, where can they cut, where can they profit, and all that good stuff. And you're kind of like looking at like all the backdoor services that all the wrestlers had access to make money outside of WWE. Now it's getting taken away from them. So now, you brings up the question, hey, is this money worth that they're paying me? Is this worth enough for me to stay here? Or is the money that I'm making on this, and if I go somewhere else and I can add both those incomes back, am I just going to have the same income that WWE's paying me? Because if that's the case, then they're going to hop ships, make the same money, go over here, they can wrestle, do what they love, and stream, whatever the case may be that they do. Then they're going to go choose, their passion. They're not going to be stuck in one spot if the money's the same or if it's just not adding up. and then you're gonna have the guestmen that are, of course, gonna like listen to like whatever they say, and they're gonna like follow and ordinance.
Yeah, just, I mean, I know in regards to some fans, you got to see the reaction of that third party situation that it was just seemed like bad time. Like, why would this be brought up now when it seems like things are going all right? They're good for WB, or at least from their perspective, doing well. With the introduction of the Thunderdome, and I know I was lucky enough to be part of that for 2 Monday Night Raws.
Hey, lucky enough, like from what I'm seeing, you've been on there like multiple times.
Yeah, 2 Raws, whatever. But
how is that experience? Like, from like, what do you do for the sign up? Explain to the audience and the viewers that will see this. Explain to them the process of how to do and what to expect and your enjoyment, your situation. Describe the feeling of like when it was happening.
Yeah, well, guys, to sign up, everybody knows you go to WWEThunderdome.com and on WWE's Twitter handle randomly for each show. Moving forward, of course, the first time you just go to the website, but moving forward at a random time, on a daily random time, they send out the link of the next show. So we had SmackDown probably tomorrow in the afternoon. Randomly, they'll have the tweet for Monday Night Raw. Then you go to WWEThunderdome.com, click the link, put down your information, and then from there they'll say if it's full or not. If it says that if it says you're full, then you kind of stop there. If you're not, they'll send you an email that will say that you've made it to that stage, and from then there it will be if you be chosen, then on the day of the show, the Monday Night Raw, you will get another email with the link. On that link or on that email will tell you the time of a call-in, your call-in time. Now you can go exactly on that time, or you can go at least 30 minutes earlier to secure a spot. Usually it doesn't matter too much, but depending on the show, especially if it's a pay-per-view, you probably might want to go an hour or an hour and a half before your call time. For a Raw SmackDown, for most people, from what I've heard and from my own experience going on the call time, exactly, if it's 6 o'clock, you go there at 6 o'clock. You click the link. You can only click the link once. You can't try it once. Oh, it says you're not in, and try it again. No, you click it once. You get one shot. You click it once. If it's saying that it's, and then if you click that link, and it's showing on your screen that to wait because you're in a standby. Do not. I repeat, do not refresh your page. If you refresh your page, there is no chance in heck you're getting on the show, and in the Thunderdome. So
wise advice right there.
Wait until if you're able to get in, and then you'll know when you're in. You'll know when you're in. And then in regards to that, like if you are early like I was for the first Monday Night Raw, I was an hour early, and got to experience. Excuse me. They had a producer there that welcomed you, went over the rules, and then
explain the login. Like when you say you're in, explain what do you see when you click on it and you're in. Are you looking like on what's on the other side of that screen that us as a viewer cannot see personally?
Well, in the beginning, really, all the only thing that you see, I mean, like to me, it's not like extra things of seeing because you're still watching the same show. I think the extra stuff is in regards to the experience and of course, the producer part of it. And especially like for the pre-show. Now, sometimes like the last Monday Night Raw was part of, not this past week, 2 weeks ago, I guess the extra stuff was superstars that were coming in the call during the show, during the commercials, saying hello, and stuff like that. Those little things.
So they interact.
There isn't like any extra stuff that you're seeing as the Thunderdome audience that the viewing audience isn't seeing because you're watching the same damn show. But it's the other little things like that, I guess, that is a treat to those that are part of the Thunderdome. So all in all, though, I enjoyed my experience. My first time I was there just for the very first segment. Because that was the Raw after SummerSlam, so Drew McIntyre celebration and a promo we cut. So that was the first Thunderdome on Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw at the Thunderdome. So I was only there for that first segment. Then the second time I was in, I was there for an hour and 10 minutes. So I don't know if they changed that. I don't know if I did something wrong the first time and I was only there for that first segment. The point is, though, either way, whatever it was, I enjoyed my time. I had a blast. Obviously, I keep trying again as I actually have it as a saved here in my emails, my browser. So
You're gonna get on another one. Watch.
So, well, yeah, I always, I click on it every day, once a day. So, to sign up for the next show, because
They're gonna remember your face. They're gonna be like, "Yo, it's not a Raw in the pandemic without the wrestling ramble in here."
I know I tweeted that. Like, I've been lucky, like I've been able to get in for Raws, but the SmackDowns when I, go to that go to click the link, go to the website, it's usually full for SmackDown. So I missed the time again because it's random. It's a random when they tweet. So, so yeah, I've been lucky with getting with the Monday Night Raws, just not the SmackDowns for whatever reason. But yeah, either way, it is certainly a fun experience. And if you are, like I said, still waiting and things are, and you're still sitting there, just let it sit. You might be able to get in. Might just be later in the show, especially if it's a 3-hour Raw. Again, don't refresh because that just killed your chance. You went from 10% to 0% if you did that. So, just sit back and wait, and maybe you'll see yourself on TV. So I enjoyed that, and I saw differences. I was part of the Milwaukee Bucks virtual fan experience twice as well for the NBA. So doing that twice and doing the Thunderdome twice is kind of interesting in regards to the differences, because for the Milwaukee Bucks virtual fan experience for the NBA, those I had to have a specific laptop. I had to borrow my sister's laptop for that, because I myself, to share, have a Acer Chromebook, and that is not compatible with the virtual fan experience. So I had to borrow a laptop. For the WWE Thunderdome, they don't give a what laptop you're using because they're just using of your screen. You're being in a call.
Trying to get in that, Brooke.
So for the virtual fan experience, it's a little bit different. But either way, I enjoyed both.
Thunderdome.
Oh, no, I have not done it. I have not tried it because I've been busy with other stuff, with other, with my other shenanigans I've been doing.
But that's really cool how you said they, like, the superstars actually jump in there during, like, commercial breaks to, like, interact, kind of like how they did back in, like, a decade ago to interact with the fans. You got on the phone with them or, like, a little chat. Like, for, like, Taboo or Cyber, like, with those, like, pay-per-views, how they were interactive. Like, at one point, it was kind of, like, on the phone or, like, the website or however they did it, like, way back when. But anyways, like, it's cool that they bring back the interactiveness like that, because right there will just give you, like, every bit of, like, your worth of, like, signing up to do it. That'd be worth it if I was like Jimmy that, loves Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins gets on there and says, hey, da-da-da-da, then it just made my kid happy. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good move.
It's a quick 5 minutes for the superstar. Yeah, quick 5 minutes for the superstar, but a big thing for a fan. Yeah. So, I forgot to bring up, and thank you for in a way kind of rethinking of that. Before the show, like for the very first one, for the first Monday Night Raw in the Thunderdome, Kevin Owens and WWE Champion Drew McIntyre were in the call before the show. Like Kevin Owens just saying hi. I guess he pointed out somebody that he saw with an Owens shirt, that was there in the call. Drew McIntyre was talking about, hey, I'm going to do something cool. So he was kind of like almost being a producer himself. He's saying, hey, I'm going to do this. Do this while I'm cutting my promo. Hope you guys will engage with me. And then he did what he did on the air, on the live TV. So with the Thunderdome audience. So those two, I forgot to say that was before the show, obviously. So you have some superstars before the show, just in audio form, being in the call, and then during the show, actual video of superstars. Like I said, the last Raw 2 weeks ago, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, were one of the superstars that were saying hello, and that was cool for me because I'm a big fan of theirs, during the show. So that was a cool little treat.
What's really interesting to me from like how you described the story and like their mechanics and like how they do things now. Going back to 2019 when I was there in Memphis and Birmingham and doing Raw and SmackDown and seeing like how everything's run and like how they, you know, break it down all the way up to the showtime. And then like how you're explaining the mechanics of it now, the like instant shutdown, the difference between the pandemic, you know, like you're seeing like when you know the insights of it and then you gotta like don't have the details filled in and then you come in and then like you broke it down and now, you know, for somebody was there just like last year and then seeing the way it is now is like holy shit, like it's such a 180, but it's like so like the business mind of like how Vince works is just like blows your mind if you see it in first person, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely the engagement for sure. They like to like for what they're doing. I'm a fan of, you know, like I think that you should definitely have a big engagement or interaction with your fans because, you know, they're the reason like if I'm going to sit there for 3 hours, I'm not going to want to say and see the same thing like that. Sit and see the same thing. Okay. For 3 solid hours. Now I'm getting engagement. I'm getting different stuff in front of my eyes. It's not the same visual. Now I'm feeling more interactive and more like engaged whenever I get to like connect with another guy or another roster or wrestler or whoever, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So that's a brilliant part on their side for business. And like seeing like the way the Thunderdome works, it's like bringing in a lot of engagement for them. So on that side, I see like, yo, great. Personally, from listening to you talk about it, if I was going to nitpick it, I would bring more interaction into it because it seems like there's not enough of it, especially before and after the show. Definitely bring like whatever the main event is and who somebody gets screwed over, they take, you know, that controversial story and they bring the guy in to the chat room or on call with you and like let him just spew and work the shit out of everybody. You know what I mean? And like, there you go. You got, you know, every bang for your buck, more engagement. It's different. You're got a different kind of product to present. Let's try to go a different way here because the ratings are, yeah, you know what I'm saying? NFL, they opened up and it still wasn't great. Their ratings were, so if they're struggling, come on, it's not just you, Vince, but, you know, let's try to find something that works. Like we could tell that 2020 is here and it's changing and it's rotating and we're getting a whole different direction of what people want to see.
It's changing wrestling, it's changing all other businesses. For me, I guess in regards to just talking about something personally, for me that I still do therapy on the weekly or now bi-weekly, and since the pandemic hit, I started doing telehealth. So, you know, doing that because that was the only option, and now with them being able to bring people back to the office, I still decided to stay telehealth because I've enjoyed it. It's easier for me out of convenience, I guess. But my point is that it affects in many different ways for people, many different ways for businesses. Some businesses, at least from what I'm hearing, or local businesses here, that is what I'm hearing, that, you know, finding different ways that didn't even know were a possibility in regards to, you know, the reach they can get in regards to online media or online kind of way, or because they had to only do it that way of things or you know, working. So, and other types of business in regards to meetings. So just all these things, like how 2020 is changing things for better, worse, and whatever in regards to business. It's certainly eye-opening to me in regards to learning of that in my own personal life, let alone otherwise, you know, in regards to sports. You know, and like I said, you know, with the Thunderdome and for WWE and the virtual fan experience, the NBA did try. You know, it's gonna be eerie and weird for me to watch football games with nobody in those stands.
Hey, it wasn't bad. I watched it. Like I watched the debut and the opening season or open kickoff of the Chiefs and the Texans.
Well, yeah. Well, the difference is the Chiefs, you know, at least had to have real fans there. There's some stadiums that literally there will be no one in those stands.
Oh shit. Yeah, it wasn't bad with the fans. I'll give it to them that. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't as noisy.
Right. I think they could only be at 20% capacity there that the Chiefs have decided to. But most of the other NFL teams, like for Green Bay, for the Packers,
yeah,
we decided for the first, I think it was the first 4 home games, there are going to be no fans at all. So nobody's going to be at Lambeau Field. So, it's just going to be interesting for all the games to see on Sunday in a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And, they're going to be like because they even brought up the word of piping and noise, and the first thing I thought it was WWE, but it would be like in that way where they're going to have to do that, otherwise it literally will be like weird and like crickets. Kind of like how it was when they first started with WWE having a performance center and being so quiet, and how they tried to use that to their advantage. I noticed that, like, trying to use that to advantage in regards to the little things in a match during a match.
Did you imagine, like, when this first came out with this pandemic and stuff, like you just touched on, going out there wrestling for crickets and then going back a couple months later, it's like, hey, by the way, McIntyre, we got like noise now. We got like these monitors that are gonna like make it sound like lit up. We're gonna bring in some more people for voice.
Pyro is back.
Yeah, Pyro is back, bro. And it's just like, wait, are you kidding me? I had to go out there and wrestle in front of crickets and like mouse fart could be heard. And now you guys get all this stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about.
Maybe
champion real quick.
maybe it took that for Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn to come back, but still,
Roman and Sami are back.
That's what I mean. They're back now with the Thunderdome, but not during the quiet times.
I don't know the whole reason on that one, but seeing Roman turn heel for the first time, second time you see Roman's heel run, you don't like it, don't you, Steele? You don't like it.
I mean, it's Roman, bro. Like you like him or you don't.
but
for his father.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go underneath him and pick out like a handful of people that I feel like are more like entertaining and like can engage the audience. But hey, everybody's got a different opinion. I mean, if I'm gonna watch Roman Reigns, at least he's a heel with Paul Heyman. I'll watch it now. Like with Roman, like acting that way, it's like intriguing, I guess. Like not as like full blown. I'd much rather watch Sami Zayn competing against McIntyre for the title, and you try to convince me that Sami's going to do it, But
he's going to feud with Jeff. I think that's going to be a sweet feud with him and Jeff.
Well, I mean, Sami can work. It's just he never got the engagement from like the fans that like he needed to get pushed to a main event status. I think Sami has all the cards. And he's got every trick in his bag. It's just when they choose to push him, it's all the brass ring, the imaginary ring. Like whenever it's your time, it's your time. So, Sami's got it all. It's just, will they ever let him go? I don't know. Who knows? I think he would be better in AEW personally because I think that he would shine over there. I think they would give him a good and hellacious run and he'd probably make more money and get a hell of a lot higher and over what he normally is now, but we ain't gonna know. We're just gonna see the corporate side of things. So you want to change it up. You want me to come back watching it full time. I'm going to want to see different pushes. I'm gonna want to see a different change of cast. I love McIntyre's champ. Great move. Like Roman Reigns is heel. Like I'm not a Roman fan, but great move. I mean that's really great. Like you got that going on with him. Who are you gonna put against him though? Like, who are you putting against him to make me want to engage and want to watch this?
Right now he's gonna face off Jey Uso.
Jey Uso. So I guess that they're gonna like advertise it and market it as like a family thing, like a family versus family thing. Okay, yeah. So if they let Uso go over, and then let's say like they give Uso the belt overnight, and then let him go to Raw the next day, and like Roman use Paul Heyman to be like, hey, contractual dispute, we want a rematch, and then take it back from him. That would be awesome. Like, I just feel like in order for the Usos to take that next level, they need to be on that next level. So they need a dub like this in order to get on that main event status. So you're not going to solidify Jey Uso to me as a main eventer unless Roman puts him over.
To be honest, I'm happy that they finally have one of the Usos finally done singles competitions. Been long enough since they're going to get singles gold. I just finally to see them that have the Usos work in singles comp.
So I have seen the Usos personally
I know you have.
over there, like Cape Girardeau, in like the training facility when Rocky Johnson and shit was around, right? So
Yeah.
like dating back all the way then to seeing like now, they have everything. They have the bag of tricks, you know, like they're energetic and all that. Their promos, they're not bad. You know what I'm saying? By no means.
Well, I know they're decent, but they do it.
Yeah, they're
how,
not gonna
like,
blow your mind, but they're not gonna bore you either. So like you can get by with that. You know, like your in-ring skill and like like the way that you tell your story in the ring with your body. I'm going to believe and I will go with that. You know, you lack this, but you know, you make up for it right here. So, you know, that's an all around package. Now, Roman Reigns, are you going to do the favor? Are you going to be the guy that lays down for your fam? And then, you know, bring us a new character, a new main eventer, a new level of talent to, like, you know, be taken serious. Because let's be honest here, Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. Okay, that might be believable, right?
As the family presentation, because they might build it up for next year's meeting for him to face The Rock
Right,
and have all these.
you wouldn't believe Jey Uso versus John Cena for the title. You wouldn't believe Jey Uso versus Goldberg for the title. You wouldn't believe Jey Uso versus Bray Wyatt for the title. You know what I'm saying?
Or you could. Well, I could see Bray and Jay face off one.
No, not when Bray has the main title. Like when he's
not like for the universe. No, I'm not talking about for the Universal title. I'm talking about maybe like when he was still the Intercontinental title.
No. I'm talking about when each of these guys have the belt around their waist, like they're representing the main brand, like with the big boy title.
Okay.
Where the whole argument is Jey Uso has to be considered a main eventer to be taken serious. Roman has to do this favor to bring him up, because if he don't and he just smashes him, he's still just Jey Uso. He needs his tag team. He needs his brother in order to win. That's all you're doing to us. If he doesn't,
all I'm saying is right.
Get beat up by his family. Ooh, we've seen this before, bro. Like Vince McMahon done cracked his daughter in the head with a lead pipe. He kicked the shit out of his son numerous times and threw him in a hole and told him Undertaker or whoever the hell to dig him and bury him alive.
Right.
He's tried to burn him. He's cheated on his wife. We've seen it all, bro. Like, give us something different. Like, yeah. Uso has to let him win, bro. Just take the title away from him the next day. At least you got him on your main event platform. You got somebody that you can push, invest a little bit of money in, see what happens. It can't be any worse than what your ratings are now. Maybe AEW will not get that comeback, and maybe you'll come win. Who knows? Like I said, it's just an annoying topic when it comes to what WWE does with all that great talent.
Yeah.
One person I was, worried about or wondering how she would do in regards to being a heel, but I've certainly enjoyed her work as a heel, and that being Bayley, the current women's champion on SmackDown. So,
bro, that girl's a heel outside of the company.
I'm on the iffy turn of this with Bayley. I'm on
Bayley was mean whenever I seen her, so her being a heel was totally believable to me.
Oh, really? So when she was a nice hugger person, now she was mean.
Oh, she's such a great hugger. So the extra talent does a No Way Jose dance, right? And we're coming back. Half of the extra talent got themselves blown up just dancing around the ring. I mean, blown up where they couldn't even get in there. She's over there how did y'all get blown up off the No Way Jose dance? And then she's just talking mad shit to all of us while we're walking back. And I'm like, damn, I thought this girl was really nice. I just got worked. You know what I mean? The camera lies. Broke my heart, man. I was wanting to think she really was nice. Or that was just a bad day for her, you know what I mean? Like I said, I've seen her twice. It could have just been a bad day.
Yeah, you never know, I guess. Well,
I know she wasn't in no hugging mood. She damn sure wasn't passing out no hugs. You might get a fist to the face. Other than that, yeah. There ain't no stopping me now. I'm not giving out no more hugs. On the next note, Bayley turns face. She's not an asshole anymore. Wait, what?
How did that happen?
Hey, yeah, how did that happen? He said. Oh shit! Like I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. That's about as believable as like Braun Strowman being a mean man. He's like the nicest person like you'll ever meet in like real life, bro. I tell you, like he'll dwarf you and look huge, and like this man's a monster. He really is. But like nicest dude ever. Nicest dude ever. McIntyre, another great, funny guy, dude. Like I love McIntyre. McIntyre was.
I can tell that he has probably a sense of humor.
Oh, dude! Like when he's in the
when-
back, he actually like being as extra talent. There was about 20 of us there, and he was out of one of the very few that came up to us and like actually introduced himself and was actually engaged, like talking to us. That was the most professional and like respectful thing that I've seen somebody do that works in WWE that isn't even required to do so. To like come up and show that form of flattery, like, dude, you're a hero in my book. You're here for the right reason. He's a jokester too. He'll start cracking all these jokes, and then all of a sudden, like from 0 to 100, he goes from like jokester to like, "I'm gonna kill you, McIntyre." I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah, I'm really enjoying regards to build up, or setup heading into Randy Orton. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at Clash of Champions Gold Rush.
What'd you think about the Keith Lee Orton match?
Which was the first one or the second time?
The September 7th one, the Raw. I believe it was.
Oh, that how I really did you realize that Keith Lee's getting agitated with Drew interfering?
Yeah, when McIntyre came back.
Mm-hmm.
Like the build up to it so far, like do you feel like it's going on for too long? Are you ready to nip it in the butt? Like how do you feel about it?
Well, if they do, who's be the next number one contender for against Orton and McIntyre? Who else on Raw is he be willing to face him next?
Shit,
to be honest, I would love to see Drew versus Alistair because I want.
I mean, let's be honest here. Too early for me, Keith Lee. Like I ain't ready to see you there yet. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're gonna push you like a Samoa Joe. Go for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't question if I was in a position. If you're gonna push me, I'll take it. Take the opportunity.
Right. To like they're giving him like a lot of love. It feels like a Samoa Joe kind of build, you know, like when Joe came in, they started like pushing him, gave him a little bit, and then calmed him down for a few, and then brought him back in. You know what I'm saying? Like that I'm okay with. Don't give me 3 to 6 months of like Keith Lee Orton angles. You know what I mean? Like just give me like a 1 month and I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, I'd much rather watch Peyton Royce and Billy Kay fight. You know, just saying. It doesn't like it's not knocking them. It's just like it's not as engaging or entertaining to me as like pairing Orton with somebody else that you know you could like pull off some amazing art with. Like Orton's already like fought everybody and like damn near on the roster 9 million times. So why don't we just Keith Lee versus Orton 5 more million times, and then we'll switch it after the 6 millionth time, and then maybe we'll have that 7 million.
Well, the John Cena and Randy feud. You know they have great matches there, but we've been over.
Great storytelling between Cena and Randy. I think that.
Yeah, but then overplayed. But
the best out of all of his like rivals.
I still think till this day they should have the tag team at least as a tag team once. So you can see how they were good as a.
You wanted Cena and Orton as a tag team?
I don't know. Something that must be an odd couples tag team.
I'm sorry. I just don't see Cena ever coming back and being like, "Hey, Orton,
no,
I want to tag with you, bro." My dad and kicked him in the head.
No, I'm talking about in their younger years. They were still, when Cena was still competing. I mean,
nah, because even still, like Orton done kicked his dad in the head and RKO'd him. And before that happened, before all that, like that's Cena in his prime, though. Like we're talking 2011, 2012. You know, before
I don't even know when they first met.
Well, then if you bring in Randy Orton and John Cena, then you got a green ass Orton going against John Cena, and then like John Cena's still doing his like chain gang shit at that time. So like you don't get like a full blown like John Cena. Like he's not even discovered himself yet. He's a rookie at that point. So like he's still trying to figure himself out. And they both are at that point. So you want the 2012 edition where they're both veterans and like fighting each other.
Well,
And
the
that's
reason
why
I
the
brought it up
storytelling
when
was so great.
I think it was WrestleMania 24 when John Cena and Randy Orton were tag teams against the whole Raw brand.
Yeah, see, but you're talking about like a Survivor Series, ordeal. I don't care what.
I thought it was just this plain up Raw versus the whole
It's
Raw.
still a Survivor Series traditional match, though, is what I'm saying. Like, no matter how you cut that in half, it's still, it's a Survivor Series match. You just called it Raw versus SmackDown, or like, Steve versus Jayden. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's the same effect. It's just
Yeah.
we can just call it whatever.
Okay, do you still think we're going to have? I always want to know. Do you still think we're going to have NXT versus SmackDown and Raw again this year's Survivor Series?
Really?
I mean, I hope so. I guess because it engages all the talent, and the talent really needs to be used. And hopefully, like out of that entire card that night, one of those new talents like stand out and shine, because it's always great to build a new guy. So, and with WWE, if no one's noticed yet, opportunities in WWE are almost non-existent because there's so many people fighting for that spot that you're always overlooked. So I hope so, because then we might see some new talent. But personally, I wish they would just change the booking. Like, it's not the talent that's the issue. I just the books, and change the match stipulations. I'm tired of seeing the same old type of shit. Like, give me different matches. Like, bring back like love affairs or some shit, like the Jerry Springer shit y'all used to do. Like, something. Like, give me something different that I ain't seen in a while, and then I'll be happy for now. Like, bring back Tough Enough. What happened to that? Like, can we get like a hashtag bring back Tough Enough? Am I the only one that like misses Tough Enough? Shit.
It was good, but there's some parts like okay.
Bro, it was like amazing, because if you were a fan of it, there's no way in hell you didn't like Tough Enough, because that's the shit you do to go get in that ring. Like, if you can't get in that ring and respect it and go through like what we got to do as performers and entertainers, then it's like on with the next one. You know what I mean? And it's when you get so many people there, and then there's money involved, or there's like a WWE contract involved. Everybody's public enemy number one. Now, you know what, Steve? I like you as a friend, bro, but you're trying to take my spot and I'm trying to take your spot. So we might be friends, but we're bitter enemies when we're in this competition. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's going to sever the head of the other opponent. And that's what made it interesting. Like, Stone Cold getting in there. Like, the Stone Cold one was my favorite at all the time.
Agree. Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. That's what I think. That's when we first met Velveteen Dream, or that was someone. No, it was the winner. The winner of Tough Enough of that one.
The Chelsea Green one, is that the very last Tough Enough that they aired, I believe?
Yeah.
I think what about you, Steve? What was your favorite Tough Enough?
Yeah, you're talking about the one with Steve Austin.
Yeah, whenever it had Chipmunk and Chris Brown singing "Born to Be a Champion" for the theme.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good song. I like it. Just one thing with that WWE, they know how to pick good songs.
Yeah, they just packaged that Tough Enough so strong. You know what I mean? Like, I just got directly invested into it because like the song hooked and like caught you, and like the way that Chris Brown and Chipmunk delivered the lyrics compared to like how they packaged it up in the nice little vignette that they did. Like, I was all for it. And then it's a shame with like what happened to Andy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole steroid shit, like, dude, there's people there now that are on that bullshit. Like, why the hell did the dude get the slip? He did something that they didn't like. That's all it is to it.
Another thing I want to get you guys' opinion on in regards to things here in WWE now, being Retribution, and the angle with Retribution.
Oh, the Retribution.
You mean Mojo Riley?
I heard a lot of leaders. Some people say it's either going to be Ciampa, is it going to be Gargano, is it going to be Cole, or Aleister Black?
I don't know about Cole.
I hope to God it's almost all of those you said. I mean, like they all need to be. But I mean, when Mojo undoes his face mask and goes, "It was me," I'm gonna be like, "Oh, heart attack! I'm done." You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna call that and shoot it out of the sky. Sorry, Mojo, you're cool, bro, but you're not like Retribution, leader of the cult. Cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just my opinion. What about y'all? I mean, I'm not the only one that's gonna speak on it. Mojo Riley, a leader or a follower?
Mojo Riley, Mojo. Good
Leader or
old Mojo.
follower? Leader or follower?
The way how he acts, I say he's more of a follower than a leader.
Steve, leader or follower?
Well, follower. There's more follower traits than leader traits.
So y'all would not believe at all Mojo like taking his mask off, being a part of Retribution. That would just
He'd be part of it. He's just not going to be the leader.
right. But would that like interest you at all?
Well, it might be like, oh, okay, let's see how. Well, clearly he said he is smart enough, but he acts like a big party animal.
I mean, it's not that with me. It's just something about like how they like have booked Mojo and then like trying to take him serious now. And it's like, dude, I want to take Mojo serious, but it's just like the gimmick you're giving him and then like what he's working with is just like not him. I feel like Mojo's just not comfortable with himself, and then like WWE is having the issue of booking him to like what suits Mojo and makes him comfortable as far as like his personality goes in real life. So hopefully this Retribution shit is like what's gonna give Mojo that self-confidence to like burst out and be like, hey, because you know Mojo, he's due, bro. Like he's been there long enough to know, you know what I'm saying? Like if he gets his shit together, Mojo can do something. It's just Mojo gets shit together.
Yeah.
And then, you know, good booking on the other end. So, you know, it's kind of just like lethal warfare going in every direction.
Yeah, but I mean, did they try once already trying to have Mojo as a heel?
Yeah, they had.
I feel like they just keep having bad Mojo for being the hype man.
Like Mojo as a heel was better than Mojo as hype, my opinion. I mean, Mojo is pissed off about being held back, and you know, like how
they just know to make sure both.
Let him unleash it. Quit giving him a script. You know what I'm saying? Like, give this man a like full blown fledged freestyle. Let him cut his own promo. Let him dump off how he feels about being held back live on a mic. Boom. I think that he would get over a lot more than like how they would book him.
Either way, I was, interested in it. It shall be interesting to find out whoever is part of.
I hope they're big names, dude. Big names big young talent names, if that makes sense.
Right, there better be some from NXT.
Right, like, dude, I want to see Adam Cole. I want to see like Will Ospreay. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me surprises. Give me one element of surprise. And then bring in a lot of NXT guys.
Right, yeah. You need something to move that needel. So I would say something like a big shock reveal in regards to a leader or something, and then you have NXT stars, and then a couple like a Mojo Rawley, otherwise that are main roster, non-used talent, in that regard. So you have a little bit of everything. You have the unused talent in regards to taking a stand, I guess. And then you have NXT stars coming up, and you have that big bomb dropping of a I don't know, where a person from the Indies or something,
right?
The Indies or somewhere that's surprising.
You need that shock factor on top of like the boom, the dynamite that just went off as far as like the roster goes of who really was kicking everyone's ass and doing this. It's gotta be believable,
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure you all know who the number one surprise person everybody brings up because he's brought up any time of anything, in anything and ever, is CM Punk. But if that ever happened, but no, yeah. It's not happening.
Bro, if he undoes the hood and it's CM Punk, bro, I will mark out because that is what they needed to bring Punk in, and that is the number one like way to do it because he has a voice. That man has a microphone in his hand. He'll make Hitler listen and obey. I'm just saying.
So every microphone he has is a pipe bomb.
Hey, that man can talk on a stick, so like he doesn't even got to wrestle. He's entertaining on a microphone, so like he can just walk into a room.
It would matter if be a manager though, and instead of just be a wrestler, just be the voice piece of Retribution.
CM Punk as the leader of this would be the best thing WWE could do because they'd be like, "Hey, you hate us, we'll pay you. Get out there."
You just do the mind games. You just do the mind games.
Like, what are they thinking? Like, it's the pandemic, dude. Like, give it to the guy you don't like that can talk on the microphone that you wanted to censor that made millions of dollars for everybody. Like, let this dude talk.
They got us bad for their WWE show on Fox.
Let him run rampant through the damn business until like the COVID's over, until there's no more pandemic. And then like, boom, clutter it up. Be like, yo, he was the guy that was like running through everything in the pandemic. He's the guy we need to take out. We take him out at the end of the pandemic. Boom, roll on. Mm-hmm. Everybody's happy. We got Punk in his fucking best of nature.
Think of that.
That's good booking.
Backstage being ending the show and all that. Renee leaving WWE and
yeah, I heard that Renee going to AEW is going to be a really great move in transition.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Obviously, that's a high possibility with her husband being there, but maybe she might actually want to do other things beyond the wrestling business. I'm sure Fox themselves or ESPN. I know ESPN's been after her for years, so maybe she goes in a different direction in sports broadcasting, just not having to stay in the wrestling world because of her husband. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that if she does go to AEW, but I'm thinking and assuming that she might want to try a different avenue and using her talent, her grand talents, because to be used with other companies and maybe make more money in that way. Especially if ESPN or Fox themselves, which she was already working with anyways, with Backstage only, being a WWE.
It shows right here that Punk was taking shots at WWE for their lack of not building new stars. Mm-hmm. So that tells you right there, it's probably not like really a hellacious roster, I guess, for like Retribution. Yeah, if he's taking shots like that, that tells me that Retribution isn't really got a star-studded impact. And they're doing all this to just get him over in like a desperate failed attempt from what Punk is saying.
It's going to be a rehab of Nexus, but with masks.
Well, this Nexus isn't going to be star-studded as the last Nexus.
Well, it's definitely either to make sure of Nexus or to make sure of Ace and Eights without the motorcycle gimmick.
All right, so it says Retribution member revealed. It's bringing up like Retribution and all that. And from Dave Metzler talking, like Metzler and Alvarez are like two of like the big guys that talk a lot. And it's saying it's Jesse Kamea who lost pretty quick to Dakota Kai last night, and one of the members of the new Retribution faction, according to Brian Alvarez and Dave Metzler on Wrestling's latest Observer. So there's one member. Apparently, Mojo is a part of it as well, from like what they're speculating.
I know I was hearing Donovan Dijakovic was another name thrown out there.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at like what Metzler and Alvarez are saying on it. Mm-hmm. So far, they're talking.
Either way,
they think it's that Diva and Mojo Riley are confirmed.
No. Either way, I just wanted to work and pay off well.
I don't read those type of sheets because it ruins the fun. Like, I don't read that kind of stuff.
Well, it lets you know like what you're getting instead of like expecting something good and then they just shit on you. It's like, damn, I wanted it to be this guy, and like it turns out to be Hornswoggle. Like, no.
Hornswoggle is leader. There you go.
Yeah, Hornswoggle. Yo, Vince is that kind of asshole. He'll be like the leader of Retribution. Hornswoggle, because why not?
We saw what happened. We found out he was getting on as Raw GM.
Are you going to be pissed if the leader of Retribution's Hornswoggle?
It'd be funny.
If he comes out in a midget black robe and then like takes his mask off and it's like Hornswoggle.
It's
You know, it'd be really interesting. You know, he was back regards to a quick sense, Wade Barrett, but put him as a leader of a group again.
No, but Wade Barrett's not doing commentary.
It's showing all the speculations on the dirt sheet on like who they think it is. All right, so Queen can be Tommaso Ciampa, Mustafa Ali, Vanessa Bourne, Chelsea Green, or Joe Quinn Wild is what they're saying. Sam can be Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa is a speculation on every single one of them. Vanessa Bourne, Chelsea Green, Cedric Alexander, and Ricochet could be Sam. Lewis, Tommaso Ciampa, Chelsea Green, Vanessa Bourne, Steve Cutler, Tahiti Miles, Jason, Tommaso Ciampa, Dominic Dijakovic, Velveteen Dream, Chelsea Green, Vanessa Bourne, CM Punk as the hacker - coach - leader. Like what? This is like so far fetched. You might as well have a pack of munchkins. Like, who's the leader of the Lollipop Guild? CM Punk. No, this would be great.
John Cena comes back and finally turns heel and is the leader of Retribution.
Who do you want to be the leader? Like, who would you expect? Who would entertain you? What would you like to see? Who is the leader of Retribution in your eyes? What would you want it to be?
I go with Ciampa.
Tommaso?
Yeah, that or Johnny. I love either of those two. But Ciampa's more of the talker in DIY. Ciampa is more of the mastermind most of it than the Johnny.
What about you, Steve?
I'm not gonna lie. In regards to personally, I would actually like to see. I would like to see Dijakovic actually as the leader, but you actually need a bigger name brand. I would go with Ciampa as well. But personally, I would actually enjoy seeing Dijakovic in a leadership role in that regard. If he was the leader of this ragtag people.
It wouldn't make sense to be Adam Cole because they did that in NXT. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The way that they came in. So, like, why would they book it on the main? But interesting to say the least.
Let me see here.
Unless you pull up the dirt sheets will probably have all of them. Caden Carter, Dominique Dijakovic, Chelsea Green, Shane Thorne, Dio Madden, and Mia Yim are the speculations right now that are widely believed to be the members of Retribution.
I can say why for Yin because of her relations with Lee.
I don't like it. Like, if you're not following NXT, you don't know who they are.
That is true.
So you just cut your engagement in half.
Like, for example, people probably did not know who, for example, Bray Wyatt before NXT was full on the network. No one know who Bray Wyatt was. Or Velveteen Dream. Or, for example, Tomas with Johnny Gargano and Ciampa when they made their debut on the mainstream as the North American champion and NXT champion. No response on the Raw brand. But when it went on the SmackDown brand, they had a huge pop when they did their thing. Right. Okay. So you went to the Raw town.
They act kind of goofy whenever, like, when they first came in from like, when they were cutting the ring ropes and shit, you noticed that they kind of felt like they were lost and they just got told to get like they just got thrown out there and was like, yo, run out there and just pretend y'all are a gang and just tear shit up. And then like you kind of feel like they kind of got stuck in there for like a minute as they started dancing and throwing their hands up and shit. I'm like, yo, what is this? Like gymnastics or like what are we doing?
All I know is because also I feel like because after the whole making them in the main roster, it also affected Tommaso's neck even worse.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if these are the members that are being speculated and that's really them, major disappointment. Personally,
Come on.
like, what are you gonna do with them? Like, you're letting these guys like run rampant, and then you gotta like book them strong now. So these are gonna be the ones that you depend on that are gonna take out your main roster talent. Just who's gonna believe like some of these new name guys like Diakovic or whatever beating Randy Orton or beating Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman or McIntyre? Like I wouldn't, Hopefully, everybody that's speculating it's Punk as the leader needs to be the leader.
It's 50-50. It might be, might not. I hope as my words make you would say, don't let me give up on hope.
Don't give up on hope. Like Paul Heyman's secretly involved with him. He ain't letting nobody know.
Yeah, he's involved in
He
everything.
is on SmackDown, and we all seen how he was factions before.
I'm telling you, Retribution's the best way to bring back CM Punk. Let him come back as like the cult, like crazy ass.
Actually, they could be a cult leader.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think that's good booking.
Oh, if there is a mistake, generally kind of was a cult leader when he did the Straight Edge Society.
Yeah.
Because come on, you see that long hair he had and that long beard? We don't tell me he looked like Charles.
Bro, what about the wrestling mask he was wearing?
That true little symbol in the middle of it.
Like, he's like, yo, I ain't got nothing tonight to like go out there and like hide my face. So I'm just gonna grab this like generic wrestling mask and make it work. And the man made it work.
That's Punk for it.
He's over here making me hungry. You better pass those potato chips. So we're gonna fight. Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
They got potato chips, bro.
Yeah, you look. He's hiding the cheesy poofs. Yeah, he's hiding the cheesy poofs over there, guys. He's hiding the cheesy poofs, so I can't get none. I'm starving. I'm hungry too.
Yeah, I know, bro. You haven't eaten all day, right?
Oh, just fall out. He ate all the skin off of the chicken.
He's just gonna collapse.
Wait, did you say catch the clap?
No, he said he's gonna collapse.
Oh, collapse. I was like, damn, and Steele is and murder on people. He's like, catch the clap, bro. Wow. Like, damn, no toilet seat needed.
This ain't Godfather.
This is shit. You're bringing a hoe train in here. Yo, Godfather needs to be the leader of the Retribution and then leads the hoe train. That's what it is. It was the hoe train the whole time, causing all the problems. And then Jerry Lawler's the second man in hand, and then he's
Hey, we're getting close to Halloween. We should have
the whole time.
We should have like a brood like thing and have Gangrel be the leader.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Bring the Hardys back with the brood.
Bring back the new brood. Bring back Brood 2.0 or
2020 version of the brood.
The 2020. Might as well, dude. Shit. Bring back the Backstreet Boys remake too. Might as well reinvent the Spice Girls. Shit. Bring TNA. We can just call it, A&T. You know what I'm saying? We'll just remake the bootleg. What's A&T stand for? Ass and tits. But you take the A and then you put a superstar with the letter A in the beginning of his name right there, and then for the T you put a superstar like Tommaso Ciampa. There you go. That's the T. Ass and tits. You just fill it in. You go get yourself a diva Make her name start with like something with the letter N. There you go. Now we got a whole nother brand. Now we're selling Jerry Springer 90s Vince Russo ideas. I bet they would love it. All right, I'm a wicked fast, awesome, nice. Never mind. I'm joking. Haha, hee hee. But anyways, nope, dude. I type in news right for like wrestling and then WWE specifically.
Yeah.
And Rusev joins the face of the frontier here and beats WWE in their own news.
All
Why
right.
is there so many rumors about Roman Reigns in AEW or Brock Lesnar in AEW? Like, why are so many people
Well, one
trying
is
to, like,
because of
sort-
being out because of John Moxley, because everyone knows how John Moxley and Roman's friendship is. So,
Well, if they could grab Roman, see, Vince is smart because Moxley's over there, and he knows if he ain't pushing Reigns, then Reigns will go over there with Moxley if they're that tight. You know what I mean? And then if two go, you know, you got Rollins left or whoever's left, and they'll be like, "Hey, come on over here, and we'll have the Shield again." you know, and then, like,
it's funny. If you watch the event the intros of Raw and SmackDown and AEW, all of them ends with with John Moxley, Roman, and Seth. All three of them ended on the same three members of the Shield. So basically, all three Shield members are basically taking over the brand, all the main wrestling shows at this point. Because you got Seth taking over Raw, you got Roman with SmackDown, John for AEW.
hold on a second. I'm going to pull up YouTube real quick, and then what was that Matt Hardy bump that he landed and hit his neck? I believe it was at the AEW pay per view. Yeah, here it is. Okay.
Okay.
So he's wearing his old like Brood like gimmick is what it looks like. He's got his
Yeah, I
Brood
saw
shirt.
that.
Okay, he's going up the little like escalator thingy with the merchandise table sitting there. Oh, he's raising it up.
The scissor lift is ascending. Yeah, this is not good. This is. I mean, this is obviously he put it up top because he wants to. Somebody's going to get hurt here. Oh my God! He's looking for the side effect. The side effect on that. Oh, but
Damn.
The only thing that broke their fall was the concrete floor. Okay, Matt's out. Matt, he's out. The back of his head struck it.
Wow.
Aubrey Edwards checking in. Matt is out. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Matt's back of Matt's head. Bounced off the concrete floor there. I don't know if he can continue here, guys.
Dude, have y'all seen this? Matt Hardy's bouncing his head off of the concrete. That's epic, bro. He didn't.
I'm still surprised how long he survived and how long he lived.
Sammy Guevara.
Damn. And then he goes on to finish the match.
His career is on the line here.
Yeah, he's done.
Wow. That fall though. Like, hold on, let me rewind this. Because I'm gonna put myself in this dude's shoes.
Both men down. The only thing that broke their fall was the concrete floor. Okay, Matt's out. Matt, he's out. The side effect on that.
Okay, so this is gonna be super hard as a performer. Okay, to like take this bump and to be able to like secure yourself while the other guy hits you. So from what I'm watching, Sammy hits his ass pretty rough. Like as far as like going out for distance, like instead of going straight down, I would have picked like a different reversal transition to do that because like there was too much momentum with like what they chose to do going out instead of something they could have done for a reversal and went up and down with it. Like a power bomb, you would have been safer to try because the way they took that, their momentum, they went further out. They launched out. So that's crazy. And then it looks like Hardy got consciousness. He's getting up. Yeah, he's dragging him and shit. He don't know where the fuck he's at.
He was trending on Twitter.
You got to look beyond the pro wrestling match. The guy can't defend himself. What the hell are we doing?
Dude, he's stiff. He's hurt.
Right hand. Matt Hardy completely dazed and disoriented. Matt's trying with all he's got, but will that ever be enough tonight? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, dude, he's. Hold on a second. Let's rewind this. He picks him up. He's dragging him. He's losing his balance. The dude that he's stiff as a board. He's not. He don't know what the hell he's doing, bro. This is sad. Hardy's picking him up, and then he even tries to run for an Irish whip and falls over, dude. Like the man's not there. The referee's calling X's, like throwing the X up, while he's just like continuing on to like this. I guess he's concussed right here, right?
Hmm.
That was the injury.
Yep.
So it goes into a verbal war because like they can't continue.
Doc Sampson has stopped this match. We have not heard what the ruling from referee Aubrey Edwards is, but
Holy shit.
The primary concern here that Matt Hardy up to his feet, it couldn't continue. That's why I see it.
JR said he couldn't continue. That's the way I see it.
Well, Matt Hardy
All right,
that
dude.
was a shoot.
Looking for revenge.
So I was just looking at Carmella's trending on Twitter.
Carmella's trending right now.
Yeah, because of the promo thing from SmackDown, the mystery woman thing.
Take no chances.
They think it's
People are-
her.
People are predicting Carmella to be that repackaged Carmella.
Towards the ring area.
Damn, what the hell?
Well, it's
Like,
a
they're just
scary
gonna end it like
situation
that?
for Matt Hardy, of course, being attended to by Doc Sampson.
Wow, he fell down 4 times during that. To be honest, blame the dumbass that put your table there because the boys were working and, you know, they trusted that whoever laid that there, you know, they didn't go out there and do that. So whoever put that table there, they entrusted with their lives. And Hardy almost paid for it with his.
Oh, you can tell that his wife will be upset about that.
It's upset, dude. The second I catch consciousness and realize what the hell just happened to myself, like I'm going after whoever the hell put that table there because you obviously put the table about a few feet up where it didn't need to be. Like, why the hell wasn't it backed up to the point where I would have worried about hitting it instead of overshooting it? You know, I'd much rather hit it short in that situation than overshoot concrete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least if I undercut that, then I know where I'm falling. You know what I'm saying? If I'm overshooting it and I'm taking a back bump, I can't see. This whole line of view is gone. So, like, my instinct is to, like, sell the bump. I'm not worried about what's behind me. Instinct is a wrestler. I'm selling. You're coming in. You hit me with the move. I'm coming back from my bump. I'm going to tuck the chin, and I'm going to take it. So right when he does that, he, you know, the guy that set the table up behind him, whoever the fuck set that table up didn't do their job. That was dangerous as shit.
We all
Like
see
me as the
dangerous
entertainer
lines
and as a professional wrestler, if that would be the guy I'd go after if I was going to be mad at somebody. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I definitely wondering in that regard because I saw that too, and I was wondering, since you're here, get your perspective on that, um, of that bumping of that sequence of events. Um, seeing it from your vantage point as a professional, but a scary moment there. I know, he was rushed to the hospital and everything.
Damn shame.
But so I didn't know that at the time because they're only scary as hell.
Yeah. But all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up on my end.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here too.
Yep, I'll have it like to.
All right.
It was
So
nice to have you guys here and chat and.
Yeah.
real recognizes real. Check out this like makeshift test our equipment. We don't know what the hell this was called. If y'all like it, we'll do it again.
If you want me to do my better, I can do it on my side because I could probably.
We got
Honestly.
3 other places we're going. It's a circle, guys.
All
The
right.
rotation. It's a rotation. Yeah.
Rotation. All right.
Yeah. Don't worry. Not just here.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks to those that were watching live or otherwise. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. And above all else, as always,
Subscribe.
take care.